What is going on, my Virgos? Butch Tarot here. First and foremost, I don't say this enough, but thank you. Virgos, you've always been kind to me, even since I started my channel. Very good to me. And I don't say it enough, like I said. So thank you for your encouraging words, your emails. I think I get the most emails, whether it be a little criticism, which I take. You know, I do enjoy your opinions. But also, thanks for watching. I am going to do a 1-week read. It is a general read, so it may not resonate with everyone. It is for your sun, moon, rising, and your Venus. For all you cross watchers, roles can be reversed. Always feel free to comment down below. And with all that being said, let's get it. Universe, what message do we have for Virgos? What can we see for Virgo? Okay, Virgos. This is interesting. So first things first, I feel like there's a connection that I feel like already exists for you. Now, it may not exist to the point where it's what it's going to be, but I feel like as of right now, I mean, this can be something fairly new, but I feel like you have a connection with this person. I feel like there's already some sort of involvement with them. Now, we have the Two of Pentacles, which I see that Two of Pentacles is having too much on your plate, but I feel like it's them. I feel like they had too much on their plate. I mean, I feel at some point this person came to you and you helped them. You know, I feel like you gave them some real honest truth. We were just talking about that with Virgos being very, very to the point. You know, they may criticize, they may give you advice, and it may be harsh, but they're doing it out of a good place. And like I said, with you, I feel like you were very honest with this person. And I feel at that time, something happened. You know, you sparked this person's interest. I mean, I feel like with this person, they have their shit together, but I feel like there was just a missing piece, and you solved it. You know, whether you helped them with something, gave them advice, whatever it was, this really piqued this person's interest in you. You know, this person has their shit together, and I feel like there's not necessarily a person that really goes out of their way to get help, or maybe not even as open to getting help, but for some reason, whatever you said, whatever you did, stuck. And I mean, this person has been thinking about it ever since. I mean, they see a lot of potential here. You know, they feel like they might have just met someone that's on the same page. You know, and I feel like it was a very simple act. I mean, we have the Seven of Pentacles, we have the Queen of Pentacles. You know, it's maybe I'm getting this idea that maybe this person doesn't really ask for help because they never really get any. But what you did is you helped them. like I said, whether it was advice, whether it was just a straight, honest answer, I mean, they really saw you differently in that moment. They see you as someone that they can align with, someone that, with the Page of Pentacles, it's all about aligning. It's all about being, like I said, on the same page. And if you're not getting on the same page, if you're not necessarily on the exact same page, you're in the same book. And I mean, they see you as someone that they could really, they're feeling this bond, and they're feeling like this, you're someone they could build a future with. With the Two of Cups, feeling that bond, this new love, this new entanglement that they're enjoying. And like I said, I feel like they see a future here. They see potential with that Page of Wands, but now we have the Four of Wands. It's all about building that foundation. Almost like the Four of Wands comes out too. We see these I'm going to call them women. I don't know if that's politically correct, but I want to call them women. And these ladies are just, you know what I mean? They're celebrating. I feel like that's kind of what this person feels like. They feel like they finally met someone that's on the same page. They finally met someone that they could have a real connection with, someone they could bond with. And that's what I mean when I say that. This person is looking for that power couple. And if you can do something they couldn't do, then that's a missing piece that they want in their life. It sets this table for trust. When they can go to you and know that they're going to get the answer, whether they like it or not, they're going to get the correct answer. They trust in that. And that's something I feel like this person's kind of been missing. Not kind of, they've been missing it. I feel like the seed has been planted here. This person is drawn to you. Now, I don't feel like this person's overly quick mover. I feel like they build slow, but they build for longevity. With that Empress, that Libra energy, I feel like the seed has been planted in this person's mind. Now, I wouldn't, it's a little funny. For some of you, this really may resonate a lot. But I feel like this this person may come to you even with problems that they don't even have. Like almost making up problems just to get your advice on, and getting your advice now that they know they can trust it. And the more they trust in that, with that establishment of trust with the Knight of Pentacles, it's almost like they come to you more and more. And not only do they come to you, but they show up for you. They give to you, giving you time, giving you, I see this connection just growing, but it's like very nonchalant. And I feel like that's good for Virgos, because Virgos usually want to get to know you. They want to know who you are before they invest anything into you. When it comes to a relationship, Virgos are very, they think it through. And I feel like this person, they see something, they see a lot of potential here. They want someone that's aligned with them. They want someone that's on the same page. They want someone they can work together with well. And if you can bring something that no one else has, that's an asset. And I don't feel like this person's looking at you like an asset. I don't know why I said it that way. I don't mean it to. But it's like this person always I don't really feel like this person was necessarily looking for someone. They had what they needed, they thought, until they met you and they realized they didn't have everything they needed. But again, I mean, I'm seeing a really strong emotional connection as well. I mean, it's not just based on you solve the problem, so they want you around so you can solve their problems. That's not what I see. I feel like this person, like I said, they may make some problems or come to you with problems they don't really even know, or like they may come to you with kind of problems that aren't really problems just to get your opinion on it. I mean, they're trusting you more than they've ever trusted anyone. They're giving you, they're showing up, they're putting in the work, they're showing up for you, and like I said, they, they're giving you their time, and that's important to this person, and they're happy when they're around you, so they got to make reasons to be around you. You know what I mean? You fill their cups up. You know, you're a breath of fresh air for this person, and I see, and this is new stability. This is something that they want to build on. Think of it this way: it's like when you know, they haven't really been looking, but they kind of kept their eyes open, and maybe they were looking to build a house, and they found this plot of land that just spoke to them, and that just started opening up these more ideas and opening up more and more doors. The reason I brought that up is it's like you don't know you want something till you see it, and then you know you want it. You know, like I said, that plot of land that was perfect, has this little stream going through or whatever. You know, everything, you were that missing piece. You were that piece of land that they see, and they see so much potential in it, and they can't unsee it. And again, I'm making it more like they want something. I'm going to shut up. Let this speak for itself. We got, like I said, 9 of Cups, that emotional fulfillment. You know what I mean? Like, you're filling up cups they didn't even know they had, and they feel comfortable with you. You know, they know they're going to get the truth from you. And I feel like that's very attractive to this person. And in getting to know you better, I feel like they see more and more of things that they would, you know, they feel like they're missing. You know, you're filling a whole lot of voids for this person. This is someone that's going to want to share their hopes and dreams with you. You know, and they don't let their guard down easy, but I mean, what they're seeing with you, they're just, it kind of just breaks that guard down unintentionally. And somewhere in that, they love it. You know, they don't feel, I kind of feel like this person felt a little lonely. For some of you, this may be not only a friend, but maybe somebody you work with or someone you work for. So I'm definitely feeling like they feel a little excluded. They felt left out in the cold, but they don't feel that way anymore with the 5 of Pentacles in reverse. You know, like, someone that takes things seriously like they do, but someone they can have a lot of fun with. I mean, there's just so much potential here. Like I said, it's, at the end of it all, I mean, I feel like this person's going to make you an offer. We're going to take our time with it because, like I said, I do feel like this person isn't a quick mover, but they're always moving in that direction. You know, like I said, wanting to share things with you. They found someone they could share things with. Someone that'll just get it, and I feel like they'll get you. Like, you know, I'm not going to sit here and tell you how you feel, but like I said, I just feel like this person just gets it. They understand you better than probably anyone you've ever met, because I feel like you're very similar in a lot of ways. And like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if this person just comes to you with even the smallest thing, even something they don't really need advice on, just to pick your brain, because they know they're going to shoot them straight. I mean, with this person, we have a lot of Earth. I wouldn't be surprised if you're dealing with another Earth sun sign, because we have Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. But there's a lot of Earth in this read. I mean, we also have Libra and Aquarius. We do have some Aries. Some Cancer. Some Scorpio. My dad is a Virgo. I don't usually... Me and my dad have a very weird relationship. Like, I don't talk to him much. But if I want a straight answer, if I want someone that's not going to bullshit me and not going to feed into my... you know how when you ask someone and they're just your friend, they're just trying to be your friend, and you ask them, should I do this? And they're like, oh yeah, you should do it. Even though in the back of their mind, they may be thinking, no, you probably shouldn't. My dad, and I have a few other friends that are Virgos, and the same goes for them. If you want a straight answer, ask a Virgo. They're not going to sugarcoat it. They're not going to bullshit you. They're going to tell you how it is. And it's going to come out harsh sometimes. So if you're not ready for it, don't ask. I got that from my dad. I'm the same way. People ask me straight up for advice. The best of my knowledge, I'm going to give it to you. You may not want to hear what I have to say. It may not feed into the thing, but I think it's important to have those type of people in your life. It's very important. Should I run for, Prime Minister of Canada? Oh yeah, you should do that. No, you shouldn't. Like my dad, and it took me a long time, and I think that's why we have such a weird relationship, because it took me a long time to understand that about my dad. My dad shoots me straight. And sometimes he's not deterring me from doing something. He's just going to tell me all the steps and all the things I need. Like when I was a kid, I was like going to be a doctor. I always watched doctor shows. I loved it. You know what I mean? Just the idea and all the knowledge that these people have and how smart they were, and just all these things that I wanted. I wanted to help people. I was never afraid of the blood and gore and stuff that a lot of people probably don't become doctors just for that reason. And I was never afraid of hard work. And I remember my dad, I always told my dad that I want to be a doctor. And he was always like, it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of schooling. And he said it takes a lot of hours, and like I come home with my report card and I get a B in chemistry. And he's like, okay, well, you got to bring that grade up. When you go to school, and I'm talking about, this is me in junior high school. He said when colleges look back, they look back at all your grades, especially the grades that are going to be most applied for whatever you're going for. And it was just like that. And when I was a kid, I always took it as he was talking me out of it, but he wasn't. He was just preparing me. Sometimes when you're a kid, you don't see things the way you should see it. My dad is very helpful on his own terms. Like, he will help anybody, but he does it his way. And if you don't want it done his way, then find someone else. Like, I remember when I first got my first apartment, I didn't have enough money. And I went to my dad. I said, Dad, I need to borrow some money. And he said, I'll lend you the money, but I want it back, and I want interest. And I want it back at this set time. I want you to make payments to me. And I agreed to it, and I made the payments. And then when it comes to interest, I made the interest payments too. And see, that's another thing. I thought my dad was kind of being a dick about it, but he was just teaching me what life was about. Like, I remember as a kid, my dad teaching me things that I needed to know. Taught me how to cook. He taught me how to clean. He taught me how to do, laundry. He taught me mechanics. Like, my dad was always preparing me. And I just always, like, as a kid, you're thinking, he's just working my ass off. He just, and we just clashed because I always thought my dad was just, but then one day, I remember, not to keep going on about this, but I remember my friend's car broke down and I was with him. And he said, what are we going to do? He goes, the closest phone is like 2 miles away. I mean, might be showing my age there, but we didn't all have cell phones back then. And anyway, I said, I'll take a look at it. And I ended up fixing his car to the point, didn't fix it perfectly, but I fixed it with what I had till we got to where we were going. And he's like, how do you know how to do that? I'm like, oh, my dad used to get me to work on cars when I was younger. And then it clicked. That's when it started clicking. I was like, see, I thought he was just, because my dad was the type of person to show you how to do something and then leave you. He'd show you how to do something and he'd ask you if you got it. And if you said you got it, then he'd leave you. Like, I remember replacing alternators when I was a kid. And I remember I built a baby barn when I was a kid. My dad told me what I had to do, and he said, if you need any help, come get me. But otherwise, my dad taught me to be very independent. And he taught me a little bit of a lot of things. And like I said, as a kid, you always think that they're just, they're just doing, like, my dad used to take me to the woods and show me things and teach me what you can eat and what can you start fires with and how to make traps and how to make, makeshift fishing lines. Like, all these things, I just thought he was just, making me do things. Like, I didn't go and play with my friends as much because my dad was always had things for me to do. I used to chop wood I remember 10 years old chopping wood, for a wood stove. Like, they'd bring a truckload of wood in and my dad would make me cut it and pack it. And then when it was getting close to wintertime, the wood was nice and dry, I'd have to bring it into the house. And my friends never had to do any of that stuff. But what it gave me was a work ethic. Like, when I got my first job and every job after that, I worked my ass off. And all my bosses, I worked in the oil field. I got promoted, like, really quickly because they loved my work ethic. And my dad gave that to me. But I didn't know it at the time. Anyway, so I got on this long thing, but on this long spiel about my dad, and maybe most people don't give a shit, but it was almost therapeutic for me. Anyway, like I said, when you're a kid, sometimes people are doing things for you, you don't even realize it. Like, when I look at my kids nowadays, I'm always trying to teach them stuff, and that's one thing I learned from my dad that I will pass on, was my dad was, preparing me, even if I didn't realize it. Be good. Take care. Stay safe.